Yo guys, what's going on? It's your boy YouLoveNicktana, and I'm welcoming you guys to episode 16 of Tana's Eye View podcast. I got two guests with me today. I got my man, Ohnoitscocoa. I don't know why I thought it was just like no, it's Coco or whatever. My fault. We off rough already. And then we got Ray. So today we're gonna be talking about a little bit of Pokemon. We have things that we want to talk about with Legends of Arceus, and also things that we want to talk about with the new game coming out and our wish list and stuff like that. So we will be talking about that and about basically how we got into Pokemon and stuff. This is going to be a little bit different of an episode than what we've done before. Basically for the fact I know we talk about like newer games that are coming out, things that are getting pushed back, like more stuff that's like happening now. But I think it's good to have these little bonus episodes where we can kind of talk about things we enjoy. And Pokemon being one of the games that I played the card game with and grew up playing and streaming, that talking about it and sharing that love with other streamers that obviously love it too. You can look at Coco's background in the video version. This man's obviously obsessed. And we've all been playing Pokemon for a really, really long time. So if you guys could do me a favor, if you guys are listening to Spotify and Apple, make sure you guys rate this 5 stars. It will help me move up the algorithm, get the podcast out to further communities and all that stuff. I will. My son just popped in. So you're leaving? Bye. All right, bye. Love you. Give me a kiss, Will. Bye. Have fun. So if you guys can, make sure you guys rate this 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and Spotify just for that reason. It helps me move up the algorithm too, get it out to other communities and bring people in. Also, if you guys could share to a friend, show them this type of content. If you guys love Pokemon and stuff, I'd love to get your guys' opinion and feedback. If you guys are watching the YouTube version, like, sub, all that good stuff. But I'm kind of rambling. All the socials are going to be in the description, everything else. I'm going to toss it to our first guest. Oh, no, it's Coco. Introduce yourself, man. Tell the people where to find you and pretty much what you do.
Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Coco. You can just call me Coco, so that Nick doesn't get confused over there, right?
Yeah, sick, dude. Fucking now. Yeah, like, you can... I think, yeah. Hold on. Let me look at my list. I think... Yeah, Coco was what? Coco? Oh no, whatever guest I have on today, right?
Yeah, whoever it is. Yeah, you could just call me Coco. You can find me on Twitch. Usually streaming Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. You can also find me on YouTube doing some Pokemon pack opening videos and whatnot. But yeah, I'm a gamer for a long time. I've been a Pokemon fan for a long time. If you're seeing this on the video version, like Nick mentioned, I mean, you can see it all around me. I live, eat, sleep, breathe, all of it. So yeah, very excited to be here. I appreciate Nick having me on.
Dude, anytime. That Ohio love that we talked about pre-pod, man. I had to have you on one of these episodes, you know, get the Ohio love out here. Ray's kind of out of it. I mean, once you move to Ohio, we could talk about it. You know what I'm saying? We'll get you here in Ohio, the greatest place on earth.
Automatic brownie points. Yeah,
I mean, I almost went to college in Ohio, so I mean.
Word?
It counts.
Which one?
I did not. Baldwin Wallace. I did not do
that. Okay. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I get you. But you'll move. You'll realize how great Ohio is, and then you'll move here. So, but yeah, sure. Man, I love that you're here anytime. So, I appreciate you guys. I know we're gonna have good conversations with both of you. But then we got Ray. Ray's a great friend of mine. Me and Ray met a little while ago, but I know she's been really deep into Pokemon Arceus, and she has deep love for Pokemon too. So I'm gonna go ahead and toss it to her, and I want you to introduce yourself, tell the people where to find you, and what part of Ohio you're moving to.
Right. Definitely Cleveland.
Whoa, Cleveland. Is that solid?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Cleveland for sure. I like the way it sounds better than Cincinnati. So that, you know.
My aunt lives in Cincinnati. That's fucking crazy to me right now. That's wild.
But yeah, I'm Ray. I go by Raeveon7. So as you know, I'm loving some evolutions. I was born on a Monday. No, I'm just kidding. I'm a variety streamer on Twitch. We do community game nights. We do a lot of indie game stuff. My socials everywhere, Raeveon7, and I do some blogging, social media and stuff on the side.
Love to hear it.
Keep it cozy, chaotic, you know.
Ooh, I like it. And like I said, guys, you guys can make sure you guys check out their descriptions and below or wherever you guys see your descriptions in Spotify, Apple, YouTube, all that good stuff. So make sure you guys check them out. They took a lot of time out of their day to come and work with me and get on the pod. So that's very, very, very much appreciated. And without further ado, man, we're going to get into our first topic. So It's been a while since Pokemon Legends of Arceus came out. When it came out, I was kind of taking a break from the pod a little bit and didn't know. I wanted to do a review for it on my own personal channel, and then I was like, it's getting kind of deep. I don't know if it's getting relevant anymore. And I feel like a lot of people don't play it anymore. I feel like there's still that community for it, but like this was like one of the first Switch games that came out for 2022, and it was super hot. Like it dropped and like instantly, like it was selling out everywhere. It was like if you didn't pre-order it, you weren't getting it on time. I personally, when I pre-ordered it, I pre-ordered it off of Amazon, and I'm never pre-ordering off Amazon again, just for that reason, because I pre-ordered it months in advance and I still didn't get it day one. So I had to get a digital version, which I'm still pissed about because I'd like to have a physical version. But I have a digital version on my Switch, and I gave the other one away to my community. So there was that, but it was the hype around it, and like the fact that like it really puts you into the area of like, you're like an actual trainer, what an actual trainer would really go through, because like we played the old mainline Pokemon games and you really don't get that feeling, right? Like it's just like little patches of grass and you run into a little Pokemon encounter and shit, but like this is like open world, like there's Pokemon all around you everywhere you turn. I feel like that's what people imagine when they think of being an actual Pokemon trainer. So off the rip, like this game, it was a very fun game for me. I would say that like I put in around like 35 hours into the game, and a lot of things I did like about it is, like I said, is like it's open world. You can pretty much go wherever you want, do whatever you want as a Pokemon trainer. Go exploring, literally completing the Pokedex on your own. You find random Pokemon here, random Pokemon there. They have different sizes, all that good stuff. It's more giving you that experience. So that's definitely a highlight, and I thought that was very cool. Getting into a negative right away, though, is I think we could all agree one thing that really did piss me off about the game is I get they wanted to add like side missions and side quests and stuff like that, but I don't really think anybody really cared for them. I don't know what you guys would think about that. Like
only if it got me a Pokemon or like unlocked something to get a Pokemon. Otherwise, I still have a whole list of side missions. Yeah,
like the gifts they give you for doing that, it wasn't a lot. Like, and some of them were very hard and they just weren't worth doing at all. And even talking to them seemed like a drag. And what do you have to say about that, Coco?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. There's going to be those completionists out there who are going to want to like do every single side quest, every single mission. That's not me. Like I'm a completionist when it comes to like the Pokedex, for example, because I need that shiny charm. Every game I play, I need that shiny charm, right? But as far as like the side quests, like they were very underwhelming. And like you said, the reward just wasn't that great. In some of those quests individually were just so tough or like repetitious that you had to like, I got to get it down to this second, some of the balloon races and stuff. It was just
I've seen the length of those
wasn't good enough.
I've seen the length of those balloon races on like TikTok, and I'm like, this deserves 10K likes because this looks ridiculous. It's like you're just flying around and doing through loops and whatever else. I'm like, this is insane. Another thing is like everybody was talking about that crazy Buizel one. You know, the one that was like the Buizel, you got to find the extra large Buizel. Nobody could find it, and it was like the most impossible mission to do.
Wow, so like, get good.
Yeah, get good. Whoa, that sounds like an Elden Ring player. Whoa, get good. Man.
I think maybe I got lucky. My first Buizel was that big one. Big boy.
I ended up finding one, so I didn't really get why people were talking about it. I think it was just more of the way that it's like it's funny that.
Yeah,
it was
of all
just,
the things.
Yeah. But God, like the game, like I'll get your guys' opinion on this. For how great the game is, like I feel like I may be bashing it a little too hard right now, but I do really love the game. But like we do got to point out, like sometimes I feel like just because it's on the Switch, it doesn't look the greatest. I see a lot of people online kind of complain about like how it looks, the graphics wise. Like sometimes I can sit there and say like the art style, that's art style. Like I feel like some people separate art style from graphics. Like I can feel like, oh, like that tree is an art style thing. But like sometimes I found like my game to be like really frame rate droppy and like every time I would roll around. But I have a day one Switch. So I don't know if that's like, did that happen to anybody else? Does anybody have like an OLED Switch, or did
I didn't have the OLED Switch, but I don't think mine was like one of the day one ones. I think it's like a V2 or something like that. But I mean I ran into things where it'd be like, you know, I would you know, throw something at him, a champ, and he would all of a sudden just teleport up into a tree and is looking around in the tree trying to charge me, right?
Right.
So yeah, I mean it would get glitchy at times. You would start to see some, you know, some issue with frames and stuff like that. But you know, Nintendo being Nintendo, they've really never cared for, you know, they very much come from the lines of like, we create a good game. It's not going to be necessarily graphically good all the time, but it's going to be a good, you know, substantive game that you're going to want to keep playing. And they were right. I mean, you know, Arceus is one of those games you can keep picking up and keep playing and having fun with, but you're not going to get the best graphics.
Respect it. Ray, how do you feel about it? How'd you feel about your experience, like looking at the game, running through it, frame rate drops? Like, what was your takes on that?
Yeah, I didn't have too many frame rate drops, but I did have a lot of glitches where, like, I remember one, it was, okay, do you guys say Gyarados or Gyarados?
Gyarados,
yeah.
Understood. Well, Gyarados was like on top of the bank by the water, just like chilling on the ground. And then if you try to throw a Pokeball at it, it wouldn't work because he was supposed to be in the water. There's lots of little glitches like that.
Yeah, I get you. Like, I mean, I just felt like it's I know it is for the Switch, but sometimes I just felt like the frame dropping was kind of like whatever. Like, it's kind of hard to make a game like that and support it with the Switch at the same time. So I kind of let it slide like that. But to think of some positives, man, like honestly, like even though it's kind of annoying to talk to people, the story is kind of cool. Basically, you have the two sides. You got the Diamond Clan and the Pearl Clan, and basically like how they protect certain Pokemon, and then you got the Guardian Pokemon and alphas and stuff like that. The whole experience of the game is very fun, and that's why I count myself just like not really rushing through the game. I basically just like, I got into the first area and I explored that thing like crazy. One of the things I did try to do is I made an all flying team. Whenever I think of like Pokemon and myself, like I would be a flying type trainer. I just love birds in general, like bird Pokemon. So I was just trying to find everything flying Pokemon. I was trying to get them all shiny at one point, and just basically exploring that area to see what flying Pokemon I can get, and then trying to level up and stuff. Because like trying to level up Pokemon that are just flying type, I mean, one rock move, I'm crumbling. So like you got to really like think of your type differences and stuff like that. But it was definitely fun to do, and like that's one of the things that brought me in. It's just like you felt like, I keep on repeating, you just felt like you were very in the game and you could play it any way you want. You could go and try and catch a level 65 Infernape if you have it unlocked. I mean, you might crumble, but like they give you that accessibility to where like you could take this fight on if you want. It's going to be hard, but you could definitely do it. So
yeah, I mean, I loved it. I mean, like just to give some positives back, I liked the story, but devil's advocate, it did seem to drag with the dialogue sometimes. Like I liked the story and what I had to do in the progression of the story.
Right.
But like if I have to go talk to Celine again, or if I got to go talk to that dude, you know, back at the main building again, oh my gosh.
It was every time, bro. And then did you have that EMIAL after every day or some shit like that?
The potato mochi. Like if you don't eat that mochi, I mean, yeah, it's crazy. And I mean, like I thought the story took its twists and turns. They had kind of like little like, oh my gosh, like these kind of like crazy moments, right? But again, just for me, that dialogue, like I am sitting there spamming that button trying to go past it.
Right.
But to their credit, I mean, again, I love this game. This is one of my favorite Pokemon games to play recently. I am not a single player game type of player. I'm really into multiplayer type games, shooters and stuff. But this had me hooked. My buddies are all like, "Hey, hop on Apex. Let's squad up." And I'm like, "No, you don't understand. I need to catch 20 more Lucarios right now. I got to do it."
Where the hell do you catch Lucario at?
Yeah, you can catch Lucario.
Alabaster, right?
Yeah, in the islands. But I think he's an alpha.
Okay.
But yeah, the one thing I will say about Nintendo and in Pokemon in this case that I loved is like they took, you know, they were so used to doing the same thing over and over with their RPGs, right? Very I don't want to say cookie cutter, but it's very Pokemon, right? They know what sells, they know people like it. They tried to do different things in the past, like with Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, and it just wasn't. They didn't hit as well as Arceus hit. So you can tell that, in my opinion, they did it right. They took their time, and something for us is I think they had, when they were creating this game, they had the streamer in mind. They had the stream viewers in mind with this type of game as well. So like with the completing of the Pokedex, the different things that you had to do, the horde encounters or whatever they called them, that's all with streamers in mind, because they understand the longevity of their game and the longevity of the series is very highly reliant on streamers streaming and you know that, and it's changed since the 90s.
Just like post game in general, Pokemon has always been really about post game. Like a lot of the time they like you play the story and stuff like that, and the story's cool. You play your 8 gyms, you go and do the Elite Four, or in Sword and Shield you do the tournament and whatever else, and it's like, okay, yeah, that's cool, but like what is gonna keep me playing after post game? A lot of people that like usually care about post game is like competitive Pokemon players, right? So like in your cookie cutter games, it's like you can create a competitive team. But if you really don't care about competitive teams, it's like, well, oh well. Like you can get the shiny charm, but I feel like you could get like, once you get the shiny charm, shiny hunting. Some people think of that as like a completionist thing. I've never really been a shiny hunter. I like to do it here and there. Like I like to do an Arceus when it was super easy until they decided to patch it. Shame on them. Shame on them. Shame on them. I should have been able to get all the shinies. Well, I think it's pretty easy still. I think it was just like they passed the original method. But like with this game, like you said, I'm gonna throw it to Ray after this because she was playing it until she was just playing the shit out of it. So like you could do so much to where it's like you didn't even want to progress in the game. Like you were just going back and you were trying to maybe oh well, I want to get all the Starly Pokedex entries completed, and then you did all that, and then you just kept exploring until it's like your team is just beefed up, and then you're exploring and trying to get this shiny and that shiny, because you could do that. It's not like the shiny odds did increase with certain like entries you got done, but like it wasn't so reliant on catching every Pokemon in the game. You feel me? Like it does, but like you could do it without having to do that. The odds were significantly better than other games. And that's what I like that they did with this game. It's like, we're going to give you a shitload of stuff, and you could just do it. Just do whatever you want. If you want a shiny hunt, go for it. If you want to just explore everything and catch every Pokemon here, do it. If you want to rush through the game and just beat it, then do it. But if you want to try and do all the side missions, then do it. Then just do it. Like, because I found myself just, like, farming a lot, too. Just, like, getting certain items to get Pokeballs and all that good stuff. So, Ray, I'm very curious about how many hours you put in this game, because
almost 300.
Yeah, I'm telling you, this is a reason why I needed you on the pod. So 300 hours. So like, I need you to tell everybody that's listening to Tana's Eye View, episode 16, which Ray reminded me of yeah, she knows my pod better than me.
Leave it to the girl, man. You just know shit. You know. Yeah, no, I'm going to expose myself a little bit in that I've never finished a Pokemon game ever because I get bored very easily. And so I'll make it through like most of the gyms, and then the repetitive action of it and seeing all the same Pokemon all the time, I just kind of like put it away and move on with my life. And what I liked about Arceus is that I could go down different paths depending on how my mood was that day. And I liked that post game they added, like, I don't know what term they use, but something about like the training battles where you could just go in with one Pokemon and do a bunch of training, or you could go shiny hunt, or you could complete the Pokedex entries. And I feel like for each Pokemon, there are very specific tasks that you had to do. So I never found myself getting bored. But I will say it was so dialogue heavy that it did start to become monotonous. Words are hard. That I would start to get bored like in the middle, and I didn't really have fun again until post game.
Right. So
But I did. I put almost 300 hours in that.
a lot of times when I do those Pokemon games too, it's like a lot of streamers and content creators, they'll do their own voice acting for the games. I was doing that at first, and I found myself like, oh my god. I told Chad, I was like, I don't know if y'all really care, but it was cool at first, but I was like,
yeah. I got like maybe 3 hours into, and I was like, I can't. I'm sorry. If you want to read it, you're gonna have to read it on your own, guys, because like I can't keep doing this.
Which it kind of it kind of intrigued me on why they would do that though. Like I know it was like technically the way they based it, it was before wasn't it like when Pokemon regions were basically collided together or something like that? Kogo, do you know the lore specifically, like how it's?
I'm not sure. I mean, it all does seem like a prequel.
Yeah,
right?
Before everything, you know what I'm saying? Like the Pokemon are there, but they're not region based. Like all the Pokemon are there. It's just like everything is just like kind of close together, and it's like, oh, I have an adventure called the Pokedex. Like in the first game, it was already invented. It was already like, here, like I need you to complete this. This is like before all of that. So maybe they wanted to make it lore heavy on that aspect. Like I'm trying to give them like the benefit of the doubt, but there was just some times where it's like, I can't just keep on clicking A. I can't like, there's times where it's just like, you're saying a lot of a lot, and then you're trying to make it dramatic when it really isn't. And it's just like,
I do have friends that was their favorite part of the game, was reading all of it, and not my journey, but it was for them. And I didn't even notice it, but they pointed out that the Pokédex screen actually looks like a notebook, like a spiral notebook.
Yeah.
Like we were actually like putting it together, which is cool. But
right.
I mean, I think the lore is interesting, but I'd rather be able to like skim a Wikipedia to find out the lore than have to sit there and like button smash A.
I'll pull up a 10-minute YouTube video at that point. Like, I don't know, someone can do the work for me, man. Like, I don't know, like, usually when I play Pokemon games, like, I like to like get the initial story at first, and it's like in the cookie cutter games, they make it so easy to understand. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you beat a gym, and it's like, oh, Jim Rocket just crashed the city. Go fuck them up. And it's like, okay, yeah, that's easy to understand. You're getting into like this Pokemon, like the only thing I really found intriguing was when the Growlithe and the volcano and like and he turned into the beast, and I was like, yeah, this is sick. That was like the only time I was really like, okay, yeah, that's cool. But then there was other times I'm like, oh, I don't really care what you're talking about, because then they're pulling out flutes, summoning shit, and I'm just like, all right, man, like.
And I don't know about you, but I got caught into this where it's like you get so tired of that story, right? So then you're like, you're hitting A and just flipping through it. You might look over, talk to chat, do something else. And then like 10 minutes later, you're like, what am I supposed to be doing right now? I don't understand. I should have been fucking reading what they said.
Yeah.
I was so lost.
And then you're like, darn it, I should have been paying more attention. So.
And
I do like, though, that it seemed like it was geared more towards adults. Like, I feel like a lot of, even the newer Pokemon games, were still very kind of childish, and this one was like, okay, as an adult, I can...
I very much thought about that, especially, and I don't want to give any spoilers away for anyone who hasn't played it, but like the final battle, when you were going through the story mode, the final battle, I was thinking to myself, there is no child who's going to, like, no 10-year-old kid is going to be able to complete this. No shot. Because it was insanely hard. And the rest of the battles, you know, through the rest of the game were relatively easy, which is, you know, that's very Pokemon of them, you know, to not really have that many crazy battles. But the very last battle where you, before you actually fight Arceus, that battle was tough. I was like, there, you know, this is definitely geared towards me. There's no 10-year-old doing this, and if they are, more power to them.
Nintendo thinks they're slick when they do that sometimes. Not even like getting off track from Pokemon, dude. I played Luigi's Mansion 3 on the Switch, and I'm like, some of these puzzles, I'm like, yo, what do you want me to do? Like, there was a puzzle where I needed to go to one area, grab this, then go to the other area to set this off with the item I got. And I'm like, dude, how do you, like, you just have to sit there and just play with stuff. And, like, at that point, it's like you said, no kid's going to figure this out. But I did like that aspect of it. Like, I wanted to say, like Elden Ring style, bro. Like, you were dodging, and then you were doing, like, you were throwing shit. And then it was like, you're dodging again, because this Pokemon's trying to mess you up. So, like, you got to, like, think of it as an actual boss fight, too. So, and a lot of times, your Pokemon, like, would just get knocked out. Just, like, straight in general. And I did kind of like that feeling, to where it was just, like, you're not going to strictly dominate every Pokemon. Like, even if you're a higher level, they have way more HP. They're way stronger. They have agile styles, like different type of style attacks, and it's just like, you're gonna lose a mon or two, and you're just gonna have to suck it up and expect that. That's why they want you to craft and get all your revives and all that stuff too.
Well, that's what I liked about it too, was not only your Pokemon, but even like yourself. There's a sense of danger and urgency where, you know, if you don't get out of the way or run away for a little bit, you're gonna pass out. You're gonna lose your little satchel thing, which I've never experienced in another game. I mean, there wasn't in another game where you literally had to worry about passing out.
Yeah, I mean, that brings up like an interesting point. Like in the games up until now, there really weren't many times where a Pokemon would actually attack you. Like as a trainer, they were really only Pokemon fighting Pokemon, right? But in the anime, I mean, you see it, I think, like first or second episode, right? When Ash is being attacked by the Spearow, you know, shout out to Pokemon back in the 90s, being attacked by the Spearow, right? And Mewtwo attacking Ash in movies and stuff like that. So like they knew it existed and they never really kind of brought it into the games until now. And it's like, I never want to be charged by a Snorlax again. Like it was terrifying, absolutely terrifying. And then when they get that sound of being like 1 HP, man, and you're just trying to find any which way to get out of there. But yeah, that was a really interesting part of the game.
Because you would fight alpha Pokemon too, and my Pokemon would get straight up wiped, and then I was like, oh, I can't do nothing, I better run away. And then he's doing this crazy ass attack where it's like, how'd you even hit me from there? Or like, I was having a really stressful time when I was hunting for the Golbats and doing the, oh, that's another thing. The encounters, what are they called? The,
Outbreaks?
Outbreaks, yeah. So in this game, there's outbreaks in the game, and basically you could like, try and spawn them basically, or like reset for them. But the outbreaks basically like bring in a bunch of a certain Pokemon, and there's just like 20 of them in just a pack. But like there would be times where it's like, oh, I would try to catch all these Golbats, and I'm trying to get a shiny and stuff, and they would attack me, all 5 of them. Trying to attack me. It's like, yo, I gotta get out of here. I better figure out how to run around and heal up, and then I gotta go back and clear the wave and then restart because I didn't get a shiny. I ended up doing that for 4 or 5 hours and still didn't get that shiny. To this day, I still didn't get the Golbat shiny. And then they patched it to where it was
I hate that patch.
Yeah.
Well, those 4-on-1 battles would be tough as shit too.
Oh yeah.
You could almost never beat them.
Dude, you would fight an alpha and then a random mon would just come up next to him trying to square up. And I'm like, dude, Geodude, get the fuck out of here, man. Like, what are you doing? Seriously.
Yeah, because, you know, in previous games when you would fight multiple Pokemon at once, there would be moves that could potentially damage all of them, right?
Yes.
Like, so if you're going 1v4, you could do some sort of water attack, and all of them could get injured. And on this, you didn't do that. You had to one by one take out each and every Pokemon, and there wasn't the ability to kind of hit more than one at once.
Yeah. Like, it's a very good game. I definitely enjoy it. Has anybody they added Dialga and Palkia to the game, I think. I don't know if anybody been back to play it ever since that, or you guys kind of just move on from it, or...
Oh, no, Bestie, I have all of them Pokemons.
You have all of them? You got the Dialga and the Palkia, too?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Is it spoiler? Am I... You too? You both? How many hours you put in, Coco?
At least 110. It's up there.
I'm the one hosting the video game podcast, bro, and I over here put in 36 hours to your guys' 400 combined. Sick.
When he said 36, I was like, oh my god.
It might be a little bit more. I'm estimating. Because I think about that too. Like, I feel like I'm like, bro, I've been playing this game for hours, and I go look at my time. I was like, what do you mean I've only been playing for like 5 hours? I feel like I've been playing for days. I'm like, this is like my 7th day out here. But I mean, it's still a great game. I love it. I don't know if I'll ever go back to it, but I definitely had to talk about it on the pod just because like it was different from Pokemon's aspect, and I think they could do a lot more with that too. Like, it opens up like Pokemon Legends. I heard like Celebi or like a different gen or something like that. So.
Yeah, because they obviously didn't include all the Pokemon in that particular game, right? So there's a huge amount of Pokemon that were left out. So they could definitely just have another game with those other Pokemon, right? And kind of have like a similar style of game and stuff like that.
Well, that's what I was wondering too, is are they going to do another game, or will they do a DLC like around the release of Scarlet Violet? Like, I feel like they left it open to add on to or just completely make a sequel.
I'd be surprised if they did not do a DLC. just because their MO for the last several games has been, having a DLC that's basically like reviving the game after it starts to die down a bit. So I'd be surprised if they didn't do some sort of DLC.
That's what I kind of was thinking too. Like, I feel like they are past the deal. They know they could probably get another $60 out of just pushing out a whole new game. I gotta want to think of like it's the obvious choice. Like, they want to make money and stuff too. Like, I feel like they would just push out a whole new game at that point and then like do it like that. Like even with Let's Go, like Eevee and Pikachu, if they were just to do like a Johto version of it, they wouldn't release a DLC for that. They would just probably push out a whole new game. But it would be kind of cool if they, how like lately Nintendo has been doing the, if you do the certain online, like there's like an expensive online thing, the expansion thing. Like, what if they said like, we'll make it a DLC, but then if you get that, you could get that with the expansion. Yeah. I thought about that too. Nintendo's going a weird way with their model. Like, I mean, obviously they want to have like that Game Pass or they have Xbox has Game Pass, PlayStation, they're starting to do their Spartacus thing, and now Nintendo's getting in on it so people can play older games and then get these expansions just for throwing it in an online package. And sometimes it's a good deal. I mean, I personally don't do it because I don't really feel like playing N64 games on my Switch is, you know what I'm saying? Like, I heard that they plan on doing GameCube games, but that's like, that might be like future. If they do that, then I could see it, but I mean, I don't really need to play Majora's Mask, honestly. Like, I don't.
They'd have me if they brought back Def Jam Fight for New York. I'd sign up for it, but otherwise, I'm not.
You look like a scrapper. You look like you'd be fighting.
It's that New York in me, you know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you be getting down.
Yeah, man. I catch these hands.
Hey, man, relax. I
tell Chow all the time I'm gonna go Snooki on them.
Easy.
Now, have you guys heard about Pokemon Home? I think they just talked about it like maybe 2 days ago.
I have. See what they mentioned like 2 days ago, but
they're gonna start letting us take our Pokemon Home Pokemon and transfer them into Arceus and also BDSP. And I guess though, if you take one from one of the other games, it'll have a Strange Ball. But basically, you could have a Pokemon that's not even in the Arceus world in your Arceus game.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know they had it set up like that. A lot of times if they do the Pokemon Home, if it's not in that Pokedex, then it can't be in that game. But if they could do that, that'd be kind of cool. I'm down for it.
Yeah, they had some sort of graphic that they put on, it's like the Japanese website, I think, and it shows the arrows that say it's interchangeable. So I know it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I've had Pokemon Home for a while, and I mean, some of that stuff, I think it was more just based on like, I used it for when I played Pokemon Sword and Shield, when I caught an, what were they called?
Dynamax
Pokemon. Yeah. Whenever I do the Dynamax hunting and stuff like that, I would put all those in Pokemon Home, and I just like kept them there because they had good IVs and shit like that. So that's the only reason I use Pokemon Home, really. So.
Yeah, I'm very new to Pokemon Home. I wasn't able to play Pokemon Go for the longest time. It wouldn't work on my phone. So now I'm like trying to transfer all my shit over to Pokemon Home.
Not a big Pokemon Go fan, man. Like I used to be.
No?
It got really to me like I know a lot of people don't do that, but I know people that will like sit on their couch and just play Pokemon Go. It's like, come on, man. Like they want you to go outside. Just go outside and play the game. Walk to get your stop. Like there's ways that you could glitch and say like you could show up in Japan to get a fucking Tyranitar, and it's like, I mean, come on, man. I'm gonna just go outside and do it, but. I never really been into the mobile games like that, like especially like Pokemon Go. It just drains the battery and stuff. And plus, like walking around, like I've been to a funny story. A funny story. I'll talk about it. Is when I did play Pokemon Go, I woke up super early and they were doing like events at it was at the University of Toledo. So what you would do is you basically had like everybody would just meet up at certain areas. Like there was like 2 or 3 areas set up, and there's just people just hovering. And like we were just like, whoa, what is that? Like, what's going on? And like, we pull up, and it was Lugia, I think. It was Lugia. So those boss fights in Pokemon Go, they were just absolutely crazy, and they're just hard to beat. So like everybody had planned out like ways to try and defeat it, so we could capture it and stuff like that. Like you just had Tyranitars everywhere, but my Pokemon weren't that good. They were all fainted and stuff like that, and I was like, okay, well, I gotta hurry up and get back in there. I'm trying to get this Lugia. And like, I threw in like a curl, like a Jigglypuff or something like that. And my Jigglypuff's just trying to smack this Lugia around. You just hear in the back, she's like, whose Jigglypuff is that? And I'm just like trying to hide my shit. I'm like just fighting with it. Because everybody has all these good mons just tearing it up. My Jigglypuff's just kind of going crazy. Like, I've had really good experiences with the game. Also the shiny Squirtle event that happened like a while ago. I drove around for that. Like, I was like, come on, man. I need a Squirtle with some glasses. Make them shiny. Like, that's just like, that's a gimme. That's a gimme. If it's something like that, I'll do. Like, the community days and stuff like that. So.
Yeah.
But like you guys said, I think Ray brought it up. There is Scarlet and Violet that did get announced a little bit ago. And basically, it's going to be a new mainline Pokemon game. I think this would be Gen 9 at this point.
Yeah.
Gen 9. So they had a little intro. Basically, it looked like an abandoned house. Basically, security guard. He's walking around, shining his light everywhere, looking around, thinking he's hearing something, and then basically flashes his flashlight somewhere, and then announces 3 of the starter Pokemon. They had Quaxley, which is my personal favorite, the water Pokemon, the duck. They had
Fuecoco. Sprigatito, I think is its name.
Sprigatito, whatever, Spaghetti Cat, whatever his name is, and then you said Fuecoco.
Yeah.
Fuecoco, which has got to be my favorite, being Coco, right? I think I just by default have to go with Fuecoco
because it has Coco. I was gonna ask what your guys' favorite were, so
I want the green cat. Give me that green cat.
Well, then we each get one then, yeah, because
exactly.
I go with Fuecoco. Yeah.
We're all picking the opposite of each other. That's crazy. That's gonna be a crazy triple battle.
Now, if they turn those little cute little Pokemon into some humanoid beast-looking dudes, I'm not gonna be happy.
I don't think they will. I don't think they will. Well, you don't like the you have a feeling that cat's just gonna have muscles and long legs, or what? Oh my god,
yeah, like who is like combustion and all that.
Lynn, bro,
like a female Rillaboom.
Yeah.
Lynn's the perfect example. Lynn's just that cute old cat, and then he just grows muscles. I'm like, Jesus Christ!
It's awful.
Oh my god, that's so funny you said that. I forgot about Litten, dude. Like, 'cause basically, like, the way I look at starters is I'm like, I make sure that they're kind of more separate than the previous starters. They've done a lot of starters, so it's kind of hard to do that. Yeah. Having another cat starter isn't like super amazing to me, but I think he's cool. Like Grass, and somebody said like based on the name. I did a video about it on my channel. Basically, like he could like, they said like based on the name, like Spirit or was in it, so like it said it could be Grass Ghost based on that. Like stuff like that would be super cool. So if it had a ghost side typing, that would go crazy.
That'd be sick.
Yeah,
but
I've heard about some rumors that Fuecoco was going to be Fire Ghost.
You did too?
Going kind of based on like a pepper, like a hot pepper, right? Like the ghost pepper. Well, because they said that he kind of looked like Fuecoco actually resembles a pepper. And so there were a lot of people that were thinking he was going to be like Fire Ghost. I think Quaxley. I'm trying to think of like kind of the main rumor that I heard about Quaxley.
He's a bird.
Of course he is. But he kind of looked like a pilot a little bit. Yeah, the Donald Duck. So yeah, obviously like flying water. I don't know about the cat though.
Yeah, like Fuecoco is. I laughed and I sat here and smiled. I'm like, that Pokemon's cute, man. I was like, it's hard for me to say that. So I'm like, bro, that mon is fucking like with his little arms and his little legs. I'm like, that mon's cool. I wanted to pick him, but like, we gotta stay loyal to the birds out here, baby. We love our birds. We love our flying type. So if it has that flying type to it, I think it'd be cool. The region is based off. It's a Spanish region, right?
Like Spain, Portugal.
Spain, that's what they were saying. So the world looked great. The main protagonist looked very nice in his fits. Like, I think it could be a very beautiful game. And based off like screenshots that I saw, I feel like they're taking a little bit of Legends of Arceus and throwing that into the mainline games. And if they could do that, that's going to be awesome. Like, I looked at screenshots for that game. I'm like, I'm getting Legends of Arceus vibes just based on how the open world is and, like, the way you could walk around and where the Pokemon are walking. Because this is the, let me see. Was the Switch the first game to have Pokemon that were overworld Pokemon?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that started with Let's Go.
Yeah, so like having the overworld Pokemon were always like I like having overworld encounters and shit like that. So, but they're only in tall grass though for the mainline games. Like I want to see them just scattered everywhere like Arceus, and then you could like literally run into. A little bit of a side topic for that because we all are content creators. I don't know. I've always made my Pokemon games a little bit more challenging. I don't know how that would affect like Nuzlocke and stuff like that too. You feel what I'm saying? Because like, the main thing was like if you played an older game and you ran into a random Pokemon, you never knew what you were gonna get. In Nuzlocke now, you could like basically like pick and choose.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I get bored running. I think I have ADHD. I'm gonna be completely honest. So like the running back and forth between the grass, like I just get bored. I move on, and then I feel like I miss out. I've never done shiny hunting in the other games because I get bored. So I prefer the overworld Pokemon too.
Yeah, because then they just pop up, and then you can see them, and sometimes
like,
I
don't want another Bidoof. No more Bidoof.
Right. Was it did they do it in Sword and Shield where like you had to go into battle to see if it was shiny, right?
Correct.
Yeah. And then Arceus was like you could see it in the overworld shiny, just like Let's Go Pikachu. Yeah, I get you. So I kind of want to go around the room then too, and I want to talk about everybody's wish list for the new game. I'll start off with Coco, the man of the hour, the Fue Coco stan. He just likes Coco, hot Coco.
Everything Coco.
His logo is a hot Coco, which is crazy.
Stan.
So what's behind the name anyway, bro? Like Coco.
Man,
like,
the quick thing about the name, it's actually kind of funny. So like when I first like started getting into like more modern gaming, like when I was in college. But I was broke, so I couldn't afford like a console, things like that. So I ended up buying my console used, like pre-owned off of some guy that was selling it on Craigslist, right? And he sold me the Xbox, and he was like, oh, and I paid for 12 months of Xbox Live, and there's still 8 months on it. I was like, as a broke college kid, not having to pay for Xbox Live was dope.
Oh, that's the W.
So I logged in, and the gamer tag was White Cocoa Puff. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to use this 8 months of free Xbox Live, and then when it runs out, I'll get my own. Well, I was grinding Call of Duty. I had all these stats that I wanted to hold on to. So eventually I just kept renewing it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make it my own name. But everyone was already calling me Coco. So I was just like, you know what? I'm going to make my gamer tag like what people say when they see me in a lobby. Like, oh, no, it's Coco. Like, we're done for, right?
Oh,
So
no!
That's where the name comes from. That's where the name comes from.
I get you.
But for me, I mean, so I kind of have two things for my wish list. One is not realistic because we already know about the starters. I get that it's tradition, every single Pokemon game, to have fire, water, and grass type starters. Can we get some different types as starters in a really different region? I would love to see a psychic starter. I would love to see a dragon starter or steel. Something unique. I get that it's tradition, but I would absolutely love to see a Pokemon game really, reach into their bag of tricks and have a completely different set of starters. I think that would open up for more creativity from them too, because they constantly have to do a fire, a water, and a grass starter, and for them, it gets repetitive, right? We see a lot of cats, we see a lot of everything like that.
I feel like,
so, like
every
for me,
Pokemon game has a cat. I don't know why. Like a new cat every game.
And only two elephants.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, so for me, like I would love to see that. Obviously, we're not going to get it this game because we already know the starters and stuff.
So, yeah.
But for me, I still want to see them in this type of game kind of take from what was successful from Arceus. I really like the distortions in Arceus. So like when you would kind of be hanging around an area for a long time and this distortion would open up, it's kind of the idea of like the safari a little bit. You're going to go in there, you're going to be able to find rare type Pokemon, they're going to be harder to fight, you're going to find rare items. I really like that about Arceus. So I would like to see them do something similar within this type of game to where you can kind of do that. It doesn't necessarily need to be as like spooky as a distortion was per se, but just something to where it's kind of spontaneous. You're able to jump in there. It's like you basically drop what you're doing because the opportunity of that happening is somewhat rare, so you want to go in there and I think it breaks up the monotony of the game quite a bit to make it to where all of a sudden it's like if you were doing X, all of a sudden you can do Y. It's going to take me 20 minutes, and then I can go right back to doing what I was doing, and it kind of breaks up that monotonous feel of it.
I like that. Like, that would be a cool idea. Especially, I'll start off with the way that you said the different starters and stuff like that. I think that would be a very cool idea, but at the end of the day, it's like, it sucks because I know they want to get that audience, like that new audience. Like, they want to, like, they're trying to maintain the people that grew up loving the game, because I feel like they have, like, bro, like, as a Pokemon fan, they just have you, like, automatically. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you started off playing Pokemon, you're basically, like, in your head, like, oh, I'm gonna get the new game. But like, they want to introduce the new generation. Like, I had someone in my chat come through the other day. He's like, my first game was actually X and Y, and I'm like, when you think about that, that's like, how old was I when X and Y fucking? I was maybe like 16, 17, 18 years. Like, that, I'm old at that age. That's like, kids really get that. That's their first game. When they say red and blue, they're gonna call me a dinosaur. So like, I feel like fire, water, grass is like, they want to, like, that's like the simplest typing to teach. But like, I wish they did like do something like that, like to where they added other typings and shit. Because I've seen people on Twitter even do examples of like psychic, bug, and dark, I think, or psychic fighting bug, or it was like a weird thing. But like that's cool because like you're switching it up, like you're not doing the same thing over and over and over again. I think it's just like a staple in the game, but change is cool. And another thing about like the having some, like, that's what I would like to have too, is like, the reason why Legends of Arceus I felt was a very good game is you didn't have to like straight line it. Like, you got distracted and wanted to do other stuff, but you wanted to do it. It's not like you had to do it. So like, if you're going through like a route, you should have like a little thing here and there that you can go to, and like, oh, if you go in here, like, there's going to be a very rare Pokemon game, like very rare Pokemon in here. Or maybe you could go in here, grind this out, and then you'll be a higher level, so the next gym's a little bit easier. Make it optional to do certain things and get rewarded for it. A lot of Pokemon games are very linear. Like, okay, if you want to get to the trainer, you got to get through this route. And you can only go certain ways left, certain ways right to get, and then you got to battle all the trainers, and it's just like, you don't really get rewarded for that. That's just something you have to do. Like, if they said like, go up Route 1, take a left, and then there's like a house there, and it's just like a haunted house, and all the ghost mons are there, and you can have a ghost mon like very early, plus it's a little hard and you can catch it. I'm down for that. I'm down for that 100%. Like, just to be able to do something different, because I feel like the games are very linear. You know what I'm saying? You just go and play, you got your mons, you're grinding them up, and then it's like, oh, let's beat the gym leader now. Feel? Ray, what are some things that you want to see in the new game in particular?
The distortions is pretty high on my list, like my wish list as well, because you figure, where did the main person from Arceus even come from? I feel like something happened with the space-time rift, and we were plucked from somewhere, and so I think it'd be cool to kind of see some ramifications of what the space-time rift or whatever the distortions are affecting this present-day Pokemon world. And I think that it would make sense if they added it, as long as they added it. I don't know if they're going to. I want an evolution. I want a ghost. I want a flying. And I love me my Eevees.
I didn't say it because you had mentioned you were such an Eevee stan, and I was like, I bet she's going to say it. But yeah, I would love to see a new evolution. That would be really cool.
The last one we had was from X and Y, I'm pretty sure. It was Sylveon, right?
Yep, Sylveon's the last one. So I think it's time. I think a flying one would be cool, or maybe like a steel, something crazy. I feel like Ghost is probably where they would go next. I feel like it's the more cute of the types. Or like, imagine a dragon Eevee.
A little fighting Eevee with the boxing gloves.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I can see it now, man.
Exactly.
Yo, Nintendo, send them a contract. Send them a contract. Let's get it going. Let's get it going.
I'm just the idea guy. I can't. That's I can't design them. I just know what they should look like.
They get you in the studio. They're like, all right, let's draw it up. I didn't say I would like. I could.
No.
Like, can I get you an artist? Like, let me see if the commissions are open.
Right.
Just hire him for the think tank. You know.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
But I really am intrigued by the open world as well. I think it adds an element that'll make Pokemon fresh again, like for those of us who have been playing a long time, but also kind of make it easy for people who are just now starting, or maybe it's their first, second game. And I'm hoping that it's they give us more to explore, so it isn't that linear path that you were talking about.
Yeah.
And we can kind of go back. Like, give me a reason to backtrack. Like, I think it was BDSP where I planted berries. I'm like, I'm never gonna go back for those berries.
Who the hell plants berries? Who is planting berries?
I don't know. I'm like,
Ray, why are you planting berries, man?
Berries, you know. Listen, I tried, but I never went back for them. Okay.
Man, I put honey on the tree. I didn't go back for like 3 gems. I'm like, oh yeah, I planted honey on the tree. There's a level 10 combi. Let's mess it up. Like, yeah.
Right. So
there's
give me a reason to go back.
There's no reason to do any of that. That's what stinks about it. I feel you on that.
Like, why are you adding those things into the game when none of us are using them really? And none of us want to go backwards.
100%.
I feel like the main goal of Pokemon games is nobody really cares about. Well, the majority of the player base doesn't really care so much about all of those extra things. They're just grinding the gyms so that they can get their shiny charm and shiny hunt, or you know, start doing the competitive stuff. So
right.
I want a reason for all that stuff.
100%. I get you. Not to go back and plant berries. You don't want to be able to like. You want to make it easier to where you can plant more berries at once. Is that what you're saying? Like that'd be a quality of life change.
Just get rid of all the berries.
At a certain point, it just turns into farming simulator, and there's no more Pokemon. You just plant
like
berries and trees and
Stardew Valley.
Yeah, Stardew Valley. Throw a little bit of that.
Valley. Yeah. No, I feel like they give us these mechanics that they want you to slow it down a little bit, right? Like go backwards in your map, but none of us are doing that. So maybe if they did have, like, I feel like in Arceus, we had to go back to the Obsidian Fieldlands often for different things. So give me that reason to have to backtrack a little bit.
Right. Even if it's just like, oh, a different Pokemon migrated here and like you can catch that. Like that's going like super deep into it, and that's like lore things, but
right.
If I had to say anything I would really want is I just want decent post game, like I was just kind of saying, like I said, I've always felt like I beat the game and then it was really nothing after that. I think Sword and Shield did a really good job of having they had 2 DLCs or 3. It's just 2, right?
2, I think.
2. They had the 2 DLCs and it was cool because they gave you like different things to do at each one, and they had like different Pokemon they added in. So like I want to make sure that I'm doing something different, like even if it's a short like 2-3 hour story, get a legendary, cool. I'm cool with that. Add in some different items, I like that. Like if they could find a way to do that and incorporate like maybe even some older friends from the older games, and maybe, or it's like what I thought would be like really cool is like, it's kind of off track from like this game now, they're gonna do it with this game, but like I would love to see another game like Heart Gold Soul Silver, where they kind of combine 2 regions together. Like you beat one region, then you go to the next region, then you clean that one out. Like that would be really, really cool to me. There's I thought from Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, a cool thing that they had was the underground system. I was like, I would be down to throw that in again. Like even if it was like the wild area to where like you have different biomes and each biome has certain Pokemon and shit like that. I like that. As long as they kind of separate it from Sword and Shield. I don't want that same wild area. Just kind of put their own spin on it. Because I feel like we're probably going to get another game. We're going to have a different like system. Last game, it was Dynamax. And then it was, what did they have? They had the wrist thing for the Alola Pokemon. What was that shit called? The wrist things. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Just Mega?
Was it G stones or something like Mega? It was something stones, I think. G moves or something like that. I forgot what it was. But they had the Mega, so I feel like they're due to try something different here. I don't know what it would be, as long as it's like worth trying to do. I gotta see these legendaries too. We haven't seen any legendaries or nothing, so
yeah, that'll be interesting.
I'm very excited for it though. I don't know.
I'm hoping we get a release date soon. They normally do it, I feel like, at the end of May.
Right.
So I'm hoping within the next couple weeks we'll find something out.
It's crazy how fast they're pushing the game out too. Legends of Arceus came out in January, and they plan on releasing this new game by fall. Most Pokemon games come out in November, so it's probably going to be in that November window. So I feel like Pokemon's just pushing out shit at this point. They're like, Arceus is hot. Let's just keep it going for real. Like
they're doing it on the TCG side as well. I mean, they're coming out with new sets every couple of months.
Oh my god!
And it's just wild how much they're like turning and burning that product. So yeah, I think that's just Pokemon's MO right now is really try to milk everything they can out of it, even though it's been around for how many years, obviously very successful and things like that. They don't have to milk it if they don't want to. I don't think popularity is going to fall off anytime soon.
No.
Like, so what's the newest set out right now? What's the hot stuff? What's the hot stuff?
Right now, the set that's out and it's in like attainable is Brilliant Stars, which features like a couple different Charizard cards, like we were talking pre-pod. The one that comes out, I think in 2 weeks. It's called Astral Radiance. That's coming out. I'm not super excited over the set, but the one thing I am excited for is that after Astral Radiance, I believe at the end of June, they're coming out with a kind of like a subset that's Pokemon Go TCG. So a lot of the artwork, a lot of the different the artwork, the trainers, everything like that is going to mirror what is in Pokemon Go, which I'm excited about because I was huge into Pokemon Go when it came out. Played it with a lot of friends, my wife, things like that. So it holds a special place for me. So I'm excited about that set. It's actually the next set I'll probably try to get like a master set of.
I respect it. Yeah, I used to know a friend that he used to try and do the master sets all the time too. He'd have he would have an individual binder for each set. Yep. And then he would try and like order it 1 through like 150 or whatever.
I just completed my first real master set. So like I started collecting the TCG probably like a year and a half ago, and I got an original base set. I collected from from start to finish for a base set. And I put that in a binder, set it aside. And then I fell in love with Evolving Skies, which is very like evolution based and stuff like that. And I literally just yesterday got the final card for that set. Not the last card I thought it would be, but it was like a $20 card that I just couldn't find. But yeah, now this set's complete, so pretty pumped.
Let's go! You were probably hyped as hell.
Yeah, but then at the same time, I'm like, what do I do now?
Right.
It's like,
wait for the next set, man.
Yeah, exactly.
What's the what's the most popular? What's the card that people need to be pulling then? What's the set? What's the card, man? What do we? Tips from Coco, man. Tips from Coco. Tell them where they need to rush the target and fight the kids for.
Right now, I still think the set that I just completed, Evolving Skies, is going to be the hot set.
Right.
It was a short release. I don't think people realized how great the cards were until later on, and now they're pulling these cards. So like like Brilliant Stars, for example, which is the most recent set, people started pulling these Rainbow Charizards and these Alt Art Charizards, and then because people were pulling them, the value was going down. Evolving Skies is going up. Like when I pulled the Chase card out of the set from Evolving Skies, it was probably like a $180 card at the time, and it was like the top card. About market value now for it is probably about $370 for that same Chase card. So
that's gross. That's so expensive.
I think that's only going to continue to go up. So if you're out there, hit up your Target, hit up your Walmart, Evolving Skies, get yourself some of the cardboard booster packs and pray to Arceus that you pull something good.
And my boy Vino's gonna love that too. I don't know if he does it so much now, but I remember a few of my friends, they were collecting the cards and shit like that. And I used to just buy booster boxes on booster boxes back during the X and Y eras and the Sun and Moon eras, because I used to do the Pokemon competitively and stuff with the cards. Like I'd stink it up though, bro. I would go to tournaments and I'd be going like 0-4. I'd go 0-4. I was in the bottom tables at that point. We're just talking about, hey man, what you getting for dinner? We're just playing. We're just effing around. But it was cool, man. Like it's still fun, the experience of going out to, like, I've been out to Columbus where they would have nationals and stuff like that, and I would go with a group of friends and we would have our decks, we would like bling it out, make it look cool. You meet some of the, like, think of like TwitchCon, but smellier. But no, I'm kidding.
No,
he's not wrong,
dude. Oh my god, dude. Like,
he's not wrong.
If I ended up going back, I'm gonna be the dude that just passed out the deodorant and the soap. I think that's
true. It's awful.
I think that'd be a good investment. Like, dude, aren't you the dude who passed out? Yes, I passed out the deodorant. I needed
I'm
it.
the deodorant dude. Yep.
Yeah, he's got these little trial sticks of deodorant that say like "YouLoveNicktana," Twitch.tv.
Yeah.
Right, like I'm gonna have a
Exactly.
business card in there. See, it's all about the
Exactly.
business, bro. We all about the business. Right, rate the pod 5 stars. Let's rate the pod 5 stars. They're gonna be like, I gotta listen to the pod now. And then while I was putting on his deodorant, like, okay, I'll do it. Nah, but like you get to like think of it as TwitchCon, where it's just like you get to see like if we all go to TwitchCon, we're gonna see the biggest content creators, obviously people that we've met throughout the years and stuff like that. So it's something like that. Everybody travels across the world, meet in one area, and we just play Pokemon. It's very fun. They have like a lot of the Pokemon merch there. They have like individual like rooms where like you could buy like stuffed animals, plushes, deck boxes, mats, and then there'll be rooms with just vendors selling cards, and some vendors will be selling games and Switches and 3DSs and stuff. Like, I honestly miss it, but it came to a point to where it was just like, bro, the card games just got way too expensive. It got way too hard to find these cards, and spending all that money on cards just to go 04, 05, it's like, damn. Waking up at 8 in the morning, it was crazy.
I haven't played the card physical TCG like since I was little, probably like 10 years old. But my friend gets the cards and he gives me all of his digital codes, so I play like the online version.
Nice.
Oh, okay, that's still hot though. Yeah.
It feels nostalgic for me, and I get hype. Over it. But I don't know anything about like. I only know Evolving Skies and Brilliant Stars because he gives me the codes and then it lets me open up like virtual packs, but I don't know anything about it.
Right. I don't know really what's going on with the newer sets. That's why I asked about it.
Yeah.
Are they on they're called Sword and Shield though, right? Are the packs like Sword and Shield now?
They're still in Sword and Shield, yeah.
Got you. Yeah, man. Those
Now, do they normally
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
Do they normally start another like set for Scarlet and Violet, do you think?
Yeah, they very well could. I mean, because before that it was Sun and Moon. So yeah, they very well could. It could start off the new set.
I'm trying to think if they would do that before or after the game though, after it drops. For some reason I think it would be after. But
yeah, I think so. I mean, because you have to think like they can't come out with any, like if they did it before, they wouldn't be able to come out with any Gen 9 Pokemon in the actual deck itself or in any of the cards because it'd be spoiling the game. So yeah, I think it'd have to be after.
I guess one thing I should have asked too, do you guys like what kind of what would that be called? Your rival? What kind of rival do you guys like when it comes to Pokemon games? Do you like your rival to be like super nice, super forgiving, like your Hops? Or do you like your rival to be more like blue style, like or whatever your name was, Gary or whoever your
Gary.
Yeah. How do y'all feel about your rivals, man? You want like a tough rival that's gonna give you like a tough time, or do you like the Hops? I've seen people show mad love for Hop. Like people like Hop stinks. Be like, no, you stink. Like the Hop love is crazy. Like I think Hop's pretty cool, but I mean I know some people are just like, it felt like rivals have changed over the years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, how do you guys feel about that?
I kind of feel like I like the Gary style. I kind of like the cheesy one-liners of that, smell you later, and like that's super nostalgic.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that rival that thinks they're the greatest, and you just absolutely wipe the floor with them every time. You know what I mean? So. Yeah, I think I go more towards like the Gary side of things.
I got you.
Yeah, me too. I want a rival. I don't want to feel like it's like a sidekick who's kind of just
because
a little bit quicker than me.
It seemed like Hop was like your friend too. You know what I'm saying? It didn't feel like your rival that was like, I'm gonna be stronger than you, and we're not even friends. We ain't close like that. Like I thought that that makes it feel like it's cool. Like when he's your friend and shit, you're just like, oh, it's Hop, man. Like you sometimes you get excited. Like you're like, oh, it's Hop. But then at the same time,
I'd almost like the idea of having a rival that you really don't get to see till the end. You're just hearing about their exploits while they go on their path. Right, so it's just like this fable the whole time. Like everyone's talking about, like, oh my God, you're almost as good as so and so. I heard that he did XYZ or she did XYZ, and then you finally meet at the very end, and then it lives up to the hype, right? And it's this huge, this huge thing. That'd be kind of cool.
I remember playing Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, and like that's kind of how I felt with the rival at the end of that game. Like I don't think he was more of like a I didn't feel he was kind of your friend, but at the same time he was always trying to be stronger than you too. Like his battles were always super hard. Like I felt like when I met him at the end of the Elite Four, that last battle just like it felt something, because it's like this is like he got the mons for it, and yeah. So get you, man.
I don't think this has come up yet. I mean, we haven't talked about it, and I think you kind of have to with one of these, right, Nick? Is like, who's your favorite Pokemon?
All time?
All time.
That's so tough, man. There's like 1,000 of them at this point.
Yeah.
So
I'll start to give you time to think if you want, because I've got my favorite. I'm the '90s baby that's been around Pokemon all his life.
It's Pikachu.
No, it's not Pikachu. No, my favorite is Cubone. I don't know why. I've always thought Cubone is like that mixture of like cute, but he also kind of has that little weapon as the Bone Club. I just always thought that was cool. Anytime I see anything related to Cubone, I'm like, that's my guy right there. He's just so cool. But I don't like Marowak. I gotta keep him with Cubone. Gotta give him an Everstone and never let him grow up.
I don't think I've ever done that with a mon. Just give him an Everstone. That's crazy. That's love.
Sort of thing.
Yeah. And then I know Ray said her Eevees, but you got to give me one. You got to pick your favorite one out of all of them.
Like, of all of them, it's probably Espeon. But I don't even know if Espeon would be my favorite Pokemon of all time.
Mad respect. Ooh, really?
Yeah. Like, I think... I don't know, man. It's hard. I love my Eevees because I like the whole vibe with them, right? But I think my favorite ever might be like a
Pikachu.
No, do you take me for a basic bitch?
No, I'm just saying. I want someone to be like, hey, it's Pikachu. Like, oh, that's a good answer.
No, I feel like it'd be like a Mewtwo, you know, like one of the, it'd definitely be like a Gen 1 situation, but I feel like it'd be like one of the legendaries. Like, I think maybe Mewtwo.
You like Mew better than Mewtwo, or you like Mewtwo better?
No, Mewtwo, man. Because I like the bad guys, you know?
You like the tough guys? I respect that.
Yeah. I like a little bit of darkness.
Man. Mine changes a lot. So, like, I have, like, little phases, right? So, I had a really big thing for Snubbull in Granbull. I thought he was really cool, like the Dogmons. Yeah, they What, Ray? What?
Listen,
what?
No judgment, okay?
What? He's a tough fairy. Dude, I got looked like crazy. But I like the Snubbull and the Granbull for a little bit, and then I also like Chinchino, if you guys remember that mon for Black and White.
Is that the one that's like got the big ears?
Yeah, it's like the mouse Pokemon. I used to try and use him competitively, so he was cool for a little bit. And then I obviously like my birds or my flying types. So like X and Y, I had a really big thing for Noivern. Noivern was like on my competitive team. He was super fast, hit pretty hard, moveset was kind of crazy. So I liked him. And then for like this gen, I like Rookidee. I like Rookidee and his evolutions. I like Cramorant just because he's funny. Cramorant's just funny guy. He's a funny guy. And then I think top of all of them, I do like the dragon, the apple dragon.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is. I forgot his name.
There's Appleton and Flapple, I think.
Flapple, yeah. Whatever. Yeah. I like the bigger dragon, to be honest. The bigger dragon with the apple on top of his head. Yeah, I like that guy.
Yeah, that's Flapple, I think.
Yeah. Like basically if it comes to birds, and then like last pick, I know I have a lot. What's your favorite? I don't have a favorite. I just like them all. But like one staple for me is obviously, since I'm a Falcons fan and I got like Falcon logos and my branding is like Falcons and feathers, I like Staraptor a lot because he's like I think he's like the only Falcon mon. Like he just looks like that bird. He looks like that. He's that guy. He's that bird. He is that bird. I will say that. So
I love some Ninetales and some Dragonair too. Like
I
Dragonair, not even Dragonite.
No, he looks like Goofy, like a Barney.
Oh,
he's a derpy Charizard.
Yeah, he's a derpy Charizard. Exactly.
Hey, he's tough though. He's tough. I'd be using him in Pokemon Unite. He's tough.
Yeah.
He's tough.
Now I can say my. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say my least favorite Pokemon are that like Illumis and like that other one. Like I feel like they're so pointless.
Oh my
Yes.
god, bro.
Yeah.
It's the worst Pokemon.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go ahead and say our least favorite Pokemon.
Before I do my least favorite, I do want to say, like, I always thought it was interesting that they went back after Gen 1 and they gave like Mr. Mime a pre-evolution, they gave Jinx a pre-evolution. They did it for a bunch of them. They never did it for Scyther and Pinsir, and I always thought those two would be so cute to have a pre-evolution, like a little grass type that has little scissors instead of the scythes.
That's awesome.
That'd be so cute. Or like Pinsir with just like one thing on his head instead of the two that come out.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
I think that was a big missed opportunity. Pokemon.
Sign him. He wants the contract, Game Freak. Let's go. Let's go.
Yes, let's go. Least favorite Pokemon, I think any of them that are like that resemble inanimate objects in real life, like Klefki.
Yes.
Or I'm not going to say their names right, but the one that's like literally a sword.
Oh, like
and
Dual Blade.
Honedge, yeah, and all those. I can't stand those, man. It's
that's
like
crazy. You lasted a whole hour, and then you had to say you didn't like that, Mon. That's crazy. Dewblade's sick. Dewblade's sick.
Look, I don't like any of those Pokemon
the whole sword
like that, but I will say that I think it's Honedge or Doublade or whatever their names are. The shiny looks cool. It's like a red sword. I'm like, okay, the shiny looks cool, but as an idea, I cannot stand when they do it like based off of like an inanimate object. Like, are you gonna have a cheese grater Pokemon? In the next gen, Gouda, like
Gouda.
Toaster oven.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they have Rotom, right? And he's at least kind of cool that he can like shapeshift into the different electronic things. But I don't know. I've just never liked any of them that are like household objects.
I respect that. For me, I'm just gonna say a group of them. The Ultra Beast from Sun and Moon. I hate them all. I hate every single one of them. I think that was just a very blown opportunity by them because it's like now it's space. Man, stop.
Yeah.
Like
I also hate the like the weather ones.
Which one?
Remind me.
Oh,
like
the legendaries. Yes, thank
you.
Yeah, those ones stink too. Yeah, I'm cool. Like the ones that are on the clouds or whatever.
Yeah, and then they can like shift into the animal version.
You could definitely like turn off somebody by a legendary. Like I've thought about that like crazy. Like you could like the game and the legendaries are just like I feel like that's why people pick the game is for the legendary. When they have the two, it's like which one's the cooler one to you. Me, I let my fiance pick the one she wants, and I'm like, damn, I gotta fucking because I already know because I'll look at them too. I look at them too, and I'm like, damn, I'm gonna have to get shield, ain't I? And I just make it work. But that's what makes it fun though too, because it's like I just make it work. I'm like, oh yeah, it's time. So yeah, I don't know. Some of the legendaries just be like they try to make them super tough and super powerful, and then you could just make them look very stupid. Like Eternus, like what does that even supposed to be?
Right.
He's like a cyber dragon. Like he was a weird thing, and then you're 10 years old just catching him. Oh, he's mine now.
Yeah, he seems like a final boss in like a PlayStation only game, like a PlayStation exclusive game. He doesn't seem like a Pokemon, to be honest. They either go like one direction where the legendary or mythical is like super hardcore, or it's super cute, like Celebi and the rest of them, right? So yeah, there's really no other option.
The mythical ones are usually cute, like you said, but it's when you get to the big buffer ones and you're just like, and what is it the deal with like you're 10 years old, you're allowed to catch it, and then it's just like everybody's just like, oh, it's fine. Like this is this Pokemon battle, and here comes Eternus, like, whoa, like he's like, why couldn't I catch that? You just beat the last guy. He's like, it's only because you had that freak. So
not wrong though.
Man. Wow. I think we're gonna wrap it up here, guys. We've been talking for about an hour now. It's a good episode, man. Thank you guys for that.
And obviously, just scratching the surface. There's so much that you can talk about with Pokemon. Right?
I know. So. That's why, I'm glad that I have these little bonus episodes to do that type of stuff, because a lot of the times I find myself caught up into doing like oh, this new game just got announced, or like I could have had an episode where I could talk about how Starfield and Redfall got pushed back. But like sometimes like that's cool to talk about, but just kicking back with people that actually enjoy like a certain game that where we've all put in countless amount of hours and played our whole lives, that and just talk about it. Like I definitely want to do this a lot more, and like you said, we could go on for like hours and hours on end. So we definitely got to make like a take 2 on this or some shit like that. Like if they announce another trailer, like you guys coming back on or what?
I'm down.
You guys are down? All right, I'm just making sure. I'm putting you guys down on a little piece of paper. Be like, I'm gonna say like, look, they're on. So, but no, guys, I appreciate it. We're gonna go ahead and sign off. I appreciate it again. Make sure you guys check out Coco and Ray. All their stuff's gonna be in the description or wherever the show notes are for the pod. If you guys could do me a big favor, also again, getting the cleaning out of the way. You guys are probably getting tired of hearing this, but again, just thank you guys for stopping by, making the podcast a huge successful hit. We're about to reach 600 all-time downloads, so guys, seriously, thank you guys so much for that. It's a big achievement for the team over here. And we can make that grow if you just do simple stuffs like telling a friend, rating it 5 stars, sharing on Twitter. I'm always looking for feedback on how we can make these things better and improve the pod on my end of the spectrum too. And then also, if you guys want to check out me personally, everything's going to be in the description. I post on Twitter a lot. I'm live on Twitch Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. And actually today of the recording, Sunday, I'm playing Paladins with a friend. So we're getting into that too. So yeah, I appreciate you guys. It's going to be Nicktana from Tana'S Eye View signing off. I appreciate you guys. Be safe. Tell someone you love them. And I'll catch you guys episode 17. Later.